least 4 houses have disappeared in a smoke and flames. Apparently the aircraft has hit a hill about 3 miles from Lockerbie.
It does sound like a scene of great horror indeed as the Pan Am flight, a 747 flight to go 103, crashed with a great explosion.
250 people on board, 255 adults and 3 children. It came down on the village of Lockerbie.
Eyewitnesses in Lockerbie say the aircraft crashed near a petrol station. There was a huge ball of fire.
The sky looked up. It was like liquid fire started to rain down in the car.
Sweetheart, where are you? Answer me, Maddie, please.
Are you sure she's out here?
Oh, yes. I saw her run in this direction. She's roaming the hills again, looking for my son's remains. She's been roaming for 2 days now. Ever since we got here. It's all she does. Madeline!
Don't worry, we'll find her. I've lived in Lockerbie my whole life. I know these hills like I know myself. Mrs. Livingston! Come on, love. Come back to us.
It's been 7 years since he died in the crash. And still, she can't set aside her grief. I don't understand it. The other families have gone on with their lives. Why can't she?
With the body, your wife would have a coffin or an urn, a grave site. The place to put her grief. But your wife, she's no such place. All she has is the sky where he vanished. The sky's not meant to be burial ground. It's too big. And when you store your grief there, it runs wild.
Yes. And now that we're here in Lockerbie, it's running even wilder. It must be these hills. This is the first time we've come here. I was afraid to bring her all these years. I was afraid that it would make her grief even worse. I just thought that maybe if she came to Lockerbie on the anniversary to attend the service and see the monument and meet the other families, maybe then she'll stop weeping.
There's no greater sorrow than the death of a child.
No, there's not. He was our only child. He was 20 years old.
Adam, Alexander, Livingston.
You know his name?
Everyone in Lockerbie knows the names of everyone who died.
Everyone in Lockerbie is very kind. You are very kind. Thank you for coming here with me. I'm at my wit's end here.
No, you are, love. We all are. Olive! Olive! Over here! Olive, is that you? Aye. Hello?
Hello.
You're Mr. Livingston, aren't you?
Yes.
Have you found her?
No, not yet. This is the place she keeps coming back to. I think we should stay right here.
Olive, we just got to work from how to do it at the warehouse. What's the news? Olive, he's going to burn the clothes. Burn the clothes?
Everything on the shelves of sorrow will be incinerated at dawn.
I was afraid something like this was going to happen. Now that the investigation is over, the evidence has been collected against the terrorists. They're going to burn the clothing of the victims.
I didn't know there were any.
There's quite a lot, actually.
Over 11,000 articles.
Why is Mr. Jones going to burn them?
Government procedure. Blood and fuel contamination.
The women of Lockerbie have petitioned the American authorities in Washington to release the clothing to us.
They sent a man from Washington, Mr. Jones,
George Jones.
to shut down the warehouse. He won't return our phone calls.
He's too busy to bother with us women.
What can you do?
Aye. What's the next step? Time's running out. In 8 hours, the clothing will be burned.
Don't worry, Hattie and I were shut at Trinity this morning. Hattie is the cleaning woman in Mr. Jones' office.
She's one of us.
Mrs. Allison, please. Don't let me keep you.
No, it's best that I work from behind the scenes. Besides, I need to be here with you. Your wife's struggle with grief is the struggle we all share. It threatens to tear us apart too.
It does?
Adam?
A man?
up over these hills, I can feel him. If only I could find him. If only I could find some part of him above. What I would give. What I would give to talk to him.
Where are you going?
To find him.
You won't find him, Maddie. There is nothing to find. The bomb went off in the compartment under his seat. Everyone in that part of the plane vanished. You know that.
There's got to be something of him somewhere.
Maddie, please.
Mr. Livingston can't release him free. Your wife? What is she doing?
She's talking to herself again. She's been doing that a lot lately. She goes over and over the moment she heard the news. Over and over the moment of his death.
Let us talk to her. Maybe she'll listen to us. And let us listen to her. We haven't heard her story before. What is old to you is new to us. Who knows? We might hear something in what she says that can help her.
By all means, go ahead. I'll give anything a try.
Mrs. Livingston, may we talk to you? Want to talk to the crazy lady, huh?
Maddie, please.
Don't think you're crazy.
I'm roaming the hills looking for my son's body. Only a crazy person would do something like that.
Or a mother.
I'm not a mother anymore.
Mrs. Livingston, talk to us, please. Tell us your story.
We need to hear it.
We need to tell our story too.
7 years ago, life as we knew it came to an end. We lost a suffering.
I was in the kitchen. I was baking a pie for Adam. Pumpkin pie to welcome him home. The TV was on. I listen to it when I'm cooking. Sprinkle flour on the counter and roll out the pie dough. And then Ted Koppel comes on the air. I know immediately that something is wrong. You only hear Ted Koppel's voice at night, never in the day. He said,
We interrupt this program.
I thought, oh dear, something awful has happened. What a shame. I'm so close to Christmas. I sprinkle more flour. I roll the crust. I hear.
Pan Am 103 was last seen in a fireball over Scotland.
I double over. I sink onto the kitchen counter. I cannot stand up. I reach for the handle on the refrigerator. I pull myself up. And there in front of me is a note held by a magnet. It says, Adam, 7 p.m., JFK, Pan Am 103. This was not supposed to happen to me.
Let's light our candles, shall we?
Lighting candles will give me no comfort.
Mr. Livingston,
Please.
I was driving to the petrol station.
I was walking the dog. I was baking a pie, like your wife.
Suddenly, the sky turned red. The ground shook.
The pie fell.
The tree at the end of the lane burst into flames.
I ran out to the door. I slammed on the brake. I turned and looked. My neighbour's rose garden was on fire too. Green bushes with wee buds of prayer, where the flowers should have been.
I jumped out of the car.
I ran out to the house. There, on top of the hill, was a suitcase, a red suitcase, sitting there as if someone had set it down. People were running from their homes, screaming and crying. Gordon McPherson was kneeling in the street, holding the body of his daughter. His wife was beside him, pushing her fist into her eyes. When I got to my house, the lights were still on, but the roof was gone. I unlatched the gate and stepped into the yard. Someone yelled, "Don't go in there!" But I didn't listen. I had to see what had happened. I opened the door and inside my living room was a pile of bodies. 71 bodies, still strapped to their seats.
We saw the wreckage.
The things I couldn't show on the tiller. We saw the bodies
In the water pods.
strewn like litter along the streets.
And we saw the faces.
Oh God, the faces. The faces of the dead. It's the faces that haunt me the most.
Some had been asleep when it happened. Their faces were peaceful.
But others were awake. Their faces were frozen in horror and disbelief.
They knew.
They knew.
You could tell they knew what was happening.
should have let him study in London. I never should have let him go so far from home. He was too young to go so far from home. I should have said no. I should have said no, 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 you cannot go. And why did I choose Pan Am over Delta? There were 2 boxes on the application form. Why didn't I check the box for Delta?
You didn't like Delta.
I could have said no, you cannot go to London.
Maddie, you let him go because you loved him. This tragedy didn't happen because of you. Get a hold of yourself. Maddie, where are you going? Oh, God. She's getting even worse.
Our lives are made of choices. Hundreds of little choices that determines our fate, each with a consequence we cannot see.
You check the box for Delta, and your son leaves. You check the box for Pan Am, and he dies. Sometimes I wonder if the choices you make are yours at all.
Or if they're made by something else, something greater, like God. Sometimes it seems these things are fated, meant to happen.
And sometimes it seems that they're not. Sometimes it seems they're not meant to happen at all. They just do, for no reason.
His killers should suffer. At the very least, their suffering should equal the suffering they've caused.
Madeline, what's gotten into you? This is a vigil. We came here to find peace.
I want justice. I won't find peace until there is justice.
That's not justice. That's revenge.
Those men killed your son. They killed 270 people. They destroyed our lives.
I know, but...
How can you be so calm?
Because rage won't bring him back. Honey, look, I know you're angry.
I didn't deserve this.
No, you didn't. None of us did. It's not fair. But Maddie, life's not fair. At some point, you have to accept that. You have to move on.
Move on? To what? What is there in a day that's worth moving on to? I don't know how anyone could move on after something like this.
I moved on.
You didn't love him as much as I did.
That's not true. You know that's not true.
You just go on as if nothing has happened.
What am I supposed to do? Stop living? Spend my days weeping on the couch like you?
You didn't cry at the funeral. You didn't cry when you got the news. You didn't cry at all.
How could I, Maddie? I had to do everything. I had to do everything to keep you from falling apart. I had to send the medical records to Scotland. I had to talk to the friends and neighbors. I had to talk to the reporters who stood on our lawn taking pictures of my grief. I even had to send his Christmas presents back to the mall because you couldn't stand the sight of them under the tree. Do you know what that was like? Can you even imagine? Just try to imagine it, just for a moment. She's right. I didn't show my grief. I couldn't. I had to keep myself numb just to get through it. I'm sorry. Oh God. God, I don't know what to do.
There's an order in the world, an order to pain, chaos, and violence. And there's a purpose. These things are given to us for a reason.
And though the reason is never made fully clear,
They're given to us so we may learn and grow.
And no one is given a burden they are unable to bear. You have to trust this.
and believe that behind the suffering of the world, there is a purpose to everything.
I want to believe that. I want nothing more than to believe that this happened for a reason. But I can't. I just can't. The events of the world before us just happened. And they happened for no reason. The best thing you can do is accept that and carry on the best you can.
Oh God, my faith is hanging on my thread again, ready to break. I'm going to the warehouse. I've got to get clays. I've got to find a way out of this dark valley before the night is through.
was it doing up here? Around in the hills. Maybe he's had a change of heart, he is, and came out here to think on it.
Hattie? Hattie, what are you doing out here?
Just cleaning up a bit, Mr. Jones.
Hattie, you're mopping the grass.
Aye, it's gotten muddy since, from the rains. I thought if I attacked the problem at the source, I could cut down on the mud getting tracked across the office floor.
You followed me out here, didn't you?
Why, Mr. Jones, I would never think of doing such a thing.
You've been spying on me ever since you got here. Always swishing your mop outside my door, listening into my conversations.
I swished my mop to clean the mud you track on the floor, sir.
Do you remember the oath you signed with the American government?
Oh, sir.
The paper you signed when you took this job.
Aye, sir. I do seem to recall some paper.
In that paper, there was a provision for spying. Do you remember that provision, Hattie?
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't. You see, sir, I don't read.
Do you know what Washington does to spies, Hattie? Consider this a warning. Stop spying, or I'm going to have Washington put you in jail.
Hello?
Help! He's trying to put me in jail, he is!
Who's trying to put you in jail?
Mr. Jones! He's accusing me of being a spy!
Mr. Jones? The Mr. Jones?
You've heard of me?
Yes. The women have told me all about you.
Oh, no. Are you a reporter?
No, I'm a tourist.
Oh, well, what are you doing here?
I'm visiting my son for the holiday.
Oh, well, look, don't listen to anything the women say about me. They've got it all wrong.
And I say, sir, that the women have got it right. He's the bully he is.
I am not.
And he ought to be ashamed of himself. Picking on an old woman like me.
I didn't pick on her.
He was picking on me, sir, right before you got here. He chased me over that hill. Here. A full-grown man! Chasing me. An old woman.
I didn't chase
And
her.
it's scaring me half to death by threatening to put me in jail.
I'm not going to put you in jail.
All right. I'll be on my way now that that's settled.
These women are driving me crazy. Look, let me give you a piece of advice about the women of Lockerbie. They're not the sweet ladies they appear to be. Do you know what they just did? They called in the television crews, the networks, the American networks. They're all down at the warehouse waiting for a statement from me. And that's not all. There are 200 women with them. 200 women with candles. They're trying to create an international incident. These people.
But I thought Lockerbie was already an international incident.
Lockerbie? Hardly. The whole world has forgotten all about Lockerbie. They forgot about it 2 weeks after the crash occurred. But if those women get it back in the news, and it will be, and then I'll never get out of here.
You, don't like it here?
What's to like? I have orders from Washington. They want things wrapped up here, quickly. Look, this whole affair has gone on long enough. These people should just get over it. It's been 7 years. I mean, move on for God's sake. Get a life. Mothers are the worst. They come in clutching the baby pictures. Little Timmy smiling, his mouth full of braces.
What about the fathers?
Oh, I have to deal with them too, but men are different. You can always reason with a man. At least they don't shove those pictures in my face. What do you have there?
My son's school picture from 6th grade, smiling with his mouth full of braces. Look.
Was your son, on board?
Yes. His body was never found.
I'm sorry. What was his name?
Adam. Adam Alexander Livingston. And here is a ticket stub for the Yankees game I took him to on his last birthday. found this a minute ago in the pocket of this old coat. Funny, I haven't worn this coat in years. Mr. Jones, do you have children?
No, I don't. Don't have a wife. Well, I had one. Had two, actually, but we never got around to having kids.
Then it might be hard for you to understand the loss that a parent feels.
They say there's nothing worse.
They're right. There isn't. See that hill? My wife's on the other side of it.
Right now?
Yes.
Doing what?
Looking for my son's remains.
You're kidding.
No.
Women, you know?
They're not the only ones that feel lost. Men do too.
Not like that.
No. Not like that. That's the difference, I guess. The women show it and the men don't. And they show it more because we don't. When Anna died, I cut off the pain. I had to. I couldn't take it. But then, I didn't feel anything else either. But just now, when I was roaming these hills and I found this ticket stuff, I felt something. For the first time in years.
You did.
Yes, look at this thing. It's a little piece of paper. Who would have thought that a little piece of paper like this could have that kind of power? George, those clothes aren't just clothes. They're not things. They have life. They have meaning, just like this piece of paper. Please, reconsider your decision. Release the clothes to the women.
Look, I would like to reconsider my decision. Really, I would.
Mr. Livingston! Mr. Livingston!
Over here.
Who's that?
The women.
The women. Look, I've got to. I'll see you later.
Mr. Jones!
Oh, Mrs. Allison. Hello.
Look,
Mrs. Allison, what are you doing out here?
I was looking for you.
Oh, well, look, I'm sorry, but I've got a conference call with Washington to discuss this situation here.
What situation?
I'm talking about the circus going on down at the warehouse, with the reporters and the women with the candles. Very well done, I might add. But it won't work.
Did you think you could burn the clothes and then no one noticed?
I didn't think it would turn into an international incident.
If you release the clothes, it won't fit.
I won't be bullied, Mrs. Allison.
I'm not bullying Mr. Jones, I'm begging. Please, release the clothes, don't burn them. The families need them, we need them.
Look, I would like to release the clothes, but I can't. They're contaminated. They've never been washed.
We'll wash them.
I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. The State Department has certain procedures.
Well, that's no problem, Mr. Jones. You've got the perfect justification.
And what's that?
Love.
I can't use love as justification.
Why not?
Because love is not a good enough reason.
There's no better reason than love.
Look, excuse me for being blunt. The bomb was an attack on the American government, ladies. You have no idea what you're asking for. Let me spell it out for you. The clothes are contaminated. They're covered in blood. And that's not all. There are guts on these clothes. Guts. Do you understand?
Mr. Jones, you seem to forget that we were here when the crash occurred. Things we have seen are worse than those clothes.
The things we have touched are worse too. Mr. Jones, I picked up body parts. I did too. I found a woman's hand and a child's leg in my garden. I picked them up and carried them down to the morgue. Everyone did.
I still have the families to think about. The sight of the clothes, washed or unwashed, could be devastating.
Why don't you let the families decide that for themselves?
Kill them.
Well, that's where you and I disagree.
Mr. Jones, wait! Mr. Jones!
Let him go, Owen. His mind is made up, love. You can't change it. Getting upset won't do any good. You've done everything you possibly could.
Not everything. We can't just take them.
Take them. You mean the clothes?
How do we do that? I'll let you in through the back entrance where there isn't a guard. We take the clothes and bring them back here.
But Tati, there are 11,000 pieces of clothing.
We can't carry 11,000 pieces of clothing.
Of course we can, because there'll be 200 of us carrying them. I'm going to open up the front gates and let the women inside too, in front of the reporters and the camera.
Tati, you'll be arrested.
We all will! But at least the clothing will be burned. Not if the telly's showing pictures of 200 women going up to jail for wanting to do the laundry.
You're right. Anna?
We have to go. We don't have much time. Come son!
Adam? They're gone. Gone. They lit their candles and went back to town. They have forgotten you, Adam. Just like the world has forgotten, but I remember. If these hills remember too, look how black they are.
Maddie,
They thought you were gone.
no, I'm still here. I found something of Adam's.
You did?
Yes, this ticket stub. Look,
Where did you find this?
in the pocket of this old coat.
Where's the other ticket? There should be two, not just one.
Well, I only found this one, Maddie.
It was in your pocket. It's not Adam's, it's yours. I don't want anything of yours, I only want something of Adam's.
Why do you hold on to your grief so hard?
Because it's the only thing I have left to hold on to.
You have me. Hold on to me.
I don't want you. Don't take your grief out on your husband, Mrs. Livingston. Who are you, anyway? You have no idea what I've been through. You didn't lose a son in the crash. No. I lost a daughter and a husband. Your son's blade fell into my farm and killed my family. My daughter is dead. My husband is dead. The blade full of Americans killed everyone I love. I hate Americans. You started this whole thing, You bombed that passenger jet from Iran. You shut down a plane full of innocent people. Lockerbie was revenge for that. You probably don't even know about it. Too busy making the pies to notice. You Americans, I hate you. I hate you.
What are you doing? Hello?
Oh my. Oh God, where's the clothes?
We don't have the clothes, Olive. We go all the way to the shales of Surrey. But we were caught.
They let us go.
And that's not all.
They're starting incineration now. They won't wait until morning.
We're burning the clothes tonight.
Mrs. Livingston.
Mrs. Livingston, where are you going?
Mr. Livingston, where are you going?
To get my things at the hotel. I'm leaving.
Your wife will need you when she gets back.
No, she won't. She doesn't need me anymore. She doesn't love me either. In fact, she hates me. What's worse, I hate her too.
Of course you did. It's only natural.
You have to hate someone.
Mr. Livingston, hatred is love that's been injured. If you have hatred in your heart, it means you have love in it also. Your hatred will turn again to love, and your wife's will too when she heals.
But she won't heal. She refuses to. I've been waiting for 7 years.
If you let yourself grieve, maybe your wife will let herself heal. Sit down.
Sit here with us, please. Don't go back to the warehouse. Your wife may not need you right now, but we do.
All right.
Mr. Livingston! Mr. Livingston! Your wife! Your wife! When she arrived at the warehouse, and all of us with her, when they saw the fuel trucks lined up at the warehouse, they fell to their knees and started to wail. The crowd of women fell to their knees too. 200 women kneeling at the front gate and wailing until the night air was filled with the cries of the women of Lockerbie. And then, Mr. Jones, he led all 200 women into the warehouse. When they got to the shelves of sorrow, their wife searched. When she got to the shelf marked unidentified remains, she ripped open the bags. The bags full of bloody scraps, looking for a scrappier son. She fell to her knees and started to scratch herself. She scratched her arms and her chest until they were bleeding.
There is nothing of Adam's on the shelves of sorrow.
Olive, the clothes.
You've got the clothes. All this time. I've been trying to turn their hatred into love, but the hatred I needed to turn was my own. Mrs. Livingston, you're bleeding. Let us wash you.
No. This gravestone. I want everyone to see it. My body will be a monument to his memory.
Scratch marks of sorrow, not a fitting way to remember. Mrs. Livingston, we're going to wash the clothes to make our hearts pure again. Will you join us?
This was your son's. I found it with the luggage. I thought you should have this.
Do you want to open it, Bill?
Yes, Nadia. I think I need to do that. Look, the t-shirt you always slept in.
Look at this thing, full of stains and holes. I told him not to take this to London, but I guess he snuck it in his suitcase. Look inside.
His name. You always put his name in everything.
He got so mad at me when I did that.
And look, a t-shirt you got in London. Put his name in it too.
So, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go. There's a press conference and I've got to make a statement and somehow salvage the situation.
What are you going to say in your statement?
I don't know yet, but it won't be about love, I can tell you that.
Why don't you say something about hatred then? Like, hatred will not have the last word in Lockerbie.
Hatred will not have the last word in Lockerbie. That might work. It would certainly make a good headline. All right, Mrs. Allison. That's what I'll say. Thank you.
Thank you. Let the washing begin. I don't know if I'm strong enough